Hello developers, I'm Stone. So today we are going to learn about some new features that were introduced in Java 1.8. In Java 1.8 they have introduced a lot of new features, but I have selected some of few features from them. Okay, as you can see from the screen, lambda expression, lambda expression is also introduced in Java 1.8. They have introduced static methods in interface because previously we cannot define methods in interface. We can declare method in interface, like that default method is also there. For each method is there. Stream API, I will say stream API uh, is a major feature that they have introduced in Java 1.8. So like this optional classes is there, and collectors classes is there and time API is there. So time API has also a major changes from the datetime class. So in this video I will try to make it short and I will divide it into parts. In this video you will focus on for each method and stream API. Some of the methods of the stream API will divide into parts. So let's begin with the for each method. Before introduction of for each method only, we are using iterator for traversing the elements in the collection. You must have known that we have three iterators: enumeration, iterator and list iterator. Enumeration is for legacy type, and iterator that we can use to iterate elements forward direction, and list iterator is there is for that we can use for traversing the element with forward and backward direction also. It is for list traversal, list iterator. Like this, for each method is also introduced in Java 1.8. Java 8 has introduced for each method in java.lang.iterable interface. Okay, so it is present in the java.lang.iterable interface. So in few moments I will show you the for each method definition in the IDE. You will see that it takes a consumer object java.util.function.consumer object as an argument. Okay, it can traverse list, map and set also. Okay, so I will show you how we can write a consumer and we can pass to a for each method. Okay, the for each method performs all the given action. Means whenever you are traversing a collection using a for each element, it will perform the given action for all the each and every element of the iterable until all the elements have been processed, or else there is an exception has been thrown. So it will process all the elements in the that are in the collection, that are present in the collection. Okay, so remember, lambda expression are used primarily to define an inline implementation of a functional interface. So functional interface, you may have known that functional interface are those interface which are having single abstract method. Okay, so in Java 1.8, in Java 1.5, if I remember, they have introduced enhanced for loop. Okay, so in 1.8, they have introduced for each loop. Okay, so what is the basic difference between the for each and the enhanced for loop? I will not say there is a huge difference in them, but there is a little difference between those two. For enhanced for loop is an external iterator, while for each is an internal iterator. Generally, external iterator are active while internal iterator are passive. So, in lame words, if I go in depth, I can tell you what is external, external, and what is internal. Okay, so basically, when the client controls the iteration, the iterator is called external iteration. Okay, and when the iteration controls itself, then it is called an internal iterator. Like for each. Okay, internal iterator provides several features such as parallel executions, mapping, etc. Okay, so let's dive into some for each implementation. I will show you the definition of for each, how it takes an consumer as an argument also. For now, just ignore these employee objects that I have created. So basically now we will create a list of string names into new list. sorry. So we have created a list of strings that contains some names. So now we will use the for each method to print it. So there is nothing means great in this. So directly what you can do directly names dot for each. So as you can see, I have told you, I will show you that it takes an consumer argument. Okay, see here how the method definition looks like. For each consumer superstring action means it will perform the action of to the each and every elements of the of your collection until and unless an exception occurs. Okay, so we will do a for each. Sorry, this is enhanced for loop, okay, which is introduced in 1.5, and this, I was telling what is external and internal, so this is enhanced for loop. Okay, so coincidentally it came for each. So this is an action, will perform an action. Now so now I want to print the elements names, whatever array list contains, that I will print. See, it is simple printing. So simple. Enhanced for loop is you have to write a few more, few one or two lines extra in this for loop. So basically, so like this, or there is also another way we can pass a consumer object directly to the for each. So let's focus on this. Okay, we will create a consumer object and we will pass to the for each method. Okay, so whenever I am creating an consumer, it is telling me to override and accept. So this is something here we have to define our logic, so that whenever we pass this consumer to the for each, it will work according to the logic. So this is the string that we will get the input. So whatever the thing is, we just want to make it uppercase. Okay, so directly I will use s out s dot to lowercase to uppercase. Okay, so now we will call this names 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 dot for each. Directly we will pass the consumer name only. Okay, here the consumer name is uppercase. See, no error is coming. Okay, we will run this program now. See, okay. So there are two ways how you can pass directly. You can pass for each also. Here you can create a consumer object. This is very useful whenever you are giving an interviews or something. Someone is asked how the consumer argument takes, how you can pass a consumer arguments to the for each. So this is all about for each. So now let's talk about Stream API. Stream API is introduced in Java 1.8. Okay, so it is an abstract layer which is introduced to process collection of objects. Okay, and using Stream API we can process data in a declarative way. Okay, so most of the and one thing is very interesting, that in Java 8 Stream API most of the API method arguments are functional interface. So Lambda expression works very well here. Okay, and every intermediate operation also in the stream is lazily executed. That means, for example, I can create a stream from an array of objects. Okay, and from a, so I will show you also how we can create. So suppose I will create a stream object here. Now I will create an array object string new string. Now I will create a stream object, stream of string, that will hold stream, that will hold stream, string object, string. Okay, array dot stream. Directly I will use ARR, the reference. So see how here it is giving error because I am not written on reference. Okay, so see, now I can use this stream object. I can iterate also my stream dot for each. So yes, out again you can do the same thing. So let's not move into that. And I will tell you some more thing also for in this stream API. So generally in stream API there are two types of operation. Okay, one is terminal operation, one is non-terminal operation. So terminal operation are filter, map, flat map, distinct, limit, peak. Okay, and non-terminal operation are any match, all match, one match, collect, count, find any, find first, for each, mean, max, reduce, to array. For today's video, we will filter on filter thing. Okay, we will focus. Sorry, we will focus on filter thing. One by one, we will uh, one by one we will finish all those method, and I'll show you examples all those method in real world example, how not like not in a demo type. I will show you with real Pojo objects how generally we use it in our projects. Okay, so today we'll focus on this filter thing. So suppose here you can see I have a main class and I have a static variable and I have a static block, then I have a main method. So you must have knowledge that whenever we are executing, whenever we will run this program, first my class variables means my static variables will be initialized, then my static block will be initialized, then execution will be begin from my main method. Okay, so here I have created a employee objects. If you see my employee Pojo class, it has a ID, it has a name, it belongs means employee belongs to his department, employee age and employee salary, and how much employee, how much experience an employee holds. Okay, so I have created a couple of employee objects and I have added all those employee objects to this list. Okay, so let's say I want to filter the employee whose age are above 30. Okay, so directly we will do what, since we are using this our static variable employee, directly I will use employee dot stream. Big C, we cannot access filter directly. Okay, filter comes with the stream API only. So before using filter we have to call the stream API method stream. Okay, then dot filter, here also we have to call an action. Okay, this action will be performed in every objects of the collection. Okay, so here action, here I will do a action, I will do action dot, sorry, let's give it a variable name emp. Okay, emp dot get age, sorry, get age greater than 30 dot, directly I can use direct for each s out. Here sorry, I have to give a action again, s out x. See how a simple one line of code and we are doing a filtering. Before introducing of stream API and filter, we have to write at least 4 to 5 lines of code to filter this thing. So in a single line I am filtering the code whose employees whose are age are greater than 30. So let's run it. Sorry, my bad. I have printed the whole object, so it is printing the hash code. I have we can print anything. Let's print age. We will see whether it is coming greater than 30 or not. See, it is coming greater than 30, all those in one line. And another thing we can do, what we can do, if you want a list of objects that contains age more than 30, what we can do, we can create a list of employee sorry EMP with new age equal to employee dot stream dot filter emp dot get salary greater than 30 dot collect dot collector dot to list. So now what will happen, it will filter this record the 30 rupees, then it will collect all the records and it will merge it to a list and it will return this list. Now if I simply loop this employee with emp with new age dot for each x s out x. Oh, again, sorry, my bad. I have to print get salary. Sorry, x dot get is always I print the whole object. That's why it generates the host hash code. See, okay. So these are the two ways how you can use the filter thing. So this is all about today's videos. I hope you will like it. So like, subscribe and comment, guys. Please please support me. Thank you.